Hello fams, good day and welcome back to our YouTube channel Diary T. Today we are tackling a massive topic that's got the Emirates buzzing. Thomas Partey's potential departure and the rising star team to replace him. Crystal Palace Adam Wharton, former England star Owen Hargreaves, has thrown Wharton's name into the mix, and trust me, this is a conversation you don't want to miss. Will Partey really leave? Can Wharton step into those big boots? And what does this mean for Mikel Arteta's midfield vision? Well, we are breaking all that down in 5 juicy segments. So grab a snack, hit that like button, and let's get started. Oh, and if you're new here, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Now let's go. Alright, let's set the stage. Thomas Partey, Arsenal's midfield anchor, is at a crossroads. The 31-year-old Ghanaian star has been a cornerstone for Mikel Arteta since joining from Atletico Madrid in 2020 for a cool 45 million euros. His blend of physicality, tactical news, and ability to dictate play has made him indispensable when he's fit. But here's the kicker. Partey's contract is set to expire at the end of the 2024-2025 season, and rumors are swirling that he's got one foot out the door. Reports suggest that Liga's giant Atletico Madrid and Barcelona are circling, eager to bring him back to Spain. Now, Arsenal did try to offload him last summer after a frustrating injury playing 2023-2024 campaign, but Partey's resurgence this season thinks his standout performances in that 5-1 Champions League thrashing of Real Madrid has made this a tough call. So why the uncertainty? Well, Partey's age and injury history are red flags. At 31, he's not getting any younger, and his 200,000 euros a week wages are a hefty commitment for players who's missed chunks of games in recent years. Mikel Arteta has been coy about contract talks, saying there's progress but leaving the details to sporting directors Andre Barta. That's code for we are keeping our opinion open. Some sources like Metro and Football's 365 claims Partey's representatives are already chatting with other clubs, and the free transfer in the summer of 2025 feels like the most likely outcome. But let's be real, guys, losing a player of Partey's caliber for nothing got point for Arsenal's fans. What's driving this? Arteta's building the squad for the long haul, and with Jorginho also nearing the end of this deal. The Gunners are planning a midfield overall. Names like Will Sosdad, Martin Zubmedi have been floated as top targets, but here's where it gets interesting. Owen Hargreaves, speaking of Rio Fanida, YouTube channel has thrown a curveball by suggesting Crystal Palace Adam Wharton as the perfect Partey's replacement. So who is Wharton and why is Hargreaves so high? Let's dive into this next. Why Adam Wharton? Now let's talk about the man of the year, Adam Wharton. If you haven't heard of him, you're about to. This 21-year-old Crystal Palace midfielder has been turning heads in the Premier League, and Owen Hargreaves is all on him as Arsenal's next midfield star. So what qualities does Hargreaves see in Wharton that makes him a suitable replacement for Thomas Partey? Now let's break that down. Hargreaves, a former England and Bayern Munich star, didn't hold back on Rio Fanida's YouTube channel. He said, and I quote, "The thing with Adam that's crazy in his vision, he's 2 steps ahead, his reading of the game is vision, and his touch are almost as good as none." That's high praise, folks. Partey's ability to anticipate play, pick out passes, and of course maintain composure under pressure is what got Hargreaves excited. At just 21, Partey's already shown he can dictate games from deep, much like a Partey does when he's at his best. Hargreaves even said, "If Mikel Arteta saw him, he'll go. That's my guy." That's a bold claim, but let's unpack it. Wharton's rise has been meteoric. He joined Palace from Blackburn Rovers in February 2024 for around 21 million euro and quickly became a starter. And in sport in Gareth Southgate's England squad and Euro 2024, he stayed back up the hype. According to Transfermarkt, he's played over 30 Premier League games for Palace. With a pass completion rate hovering around 80%, he's not just a safe passer though. Wharton's got that X factor. He can spray long balls, break lines with incisive passes, and read the game like a veteran. Hargreaves sees him slotting into Arsenal's midfield as a deep line playmaker, controlling the tempo and shielding the back four. Just like Partey, but it's not just about technical skill. Wharton's mentality impresses too. He's shown he can handle the pressure of big stages, from Palace FA Cup, of course, semi-final run to international duty. Hargreaves believes Wharton's intelligence and adaptability makes him a natural fit for Arteta's system, which demands players who can think fast and execute under pressure. So could Wharton really step into Partey's role? To answer that, we need to compare their playing styles and see how Wharton stacks up. Let's move to the next segment. Wharton versus Partey playing style comparison and fit. Alright, let's get tactical. How does Adam Wharton playing style compare to Thomas Partey's, and would he need major adjustment to fit into Arsenal's system? This is where things get juicy, so stick with me. Thomas Partey is a unique beast at his peak. He's a one-man midfield destroyer. He's got the physicality to win duels, the technical ability to pin 50-yard passes, and the nose to sniff out danger before it happened. Now, Arsenal's 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1 under Arteta often sees Partey as the number 6 sitting deep to protect the difference, while feeding players like Martin Odegaard and Declan Rice. His role is about balance, break-up play, recycle possessions, and launch attacks with precise passing. But injuries have exposed his limitations. Partey's not as mobile as he once was, and his absence forces Arteta to reshuffle. Enter Adam Wharton. At first glance, Partey's not the same physical specimen. Partey's 6'1" frame and bulldozing presence contrasts with Wharton's linear build and more cerebral approach. Wharton's strengths lie in his brain, not his bones. He's a pass master averaging over 40 passes per game with a focus on progressive goals. By every data, like Partey, he can control the tempo from deep. But he's less about muscling opponents off the ball and more about intercepting through smart positioning. Think of him as the hybrid between Partey's playmaking and John Hero's composure. Would Wharton need adjustment to fit Arsenal's system? Yes, but not as many as you might think. Arteta's midfield setup, as detailed by Premier League analysts like Adrian Clark, relies on a holding midfielder who can invert like Oleksandr Sekeno does from left back. And he played through the third. Wharton's already shown he can do this at plays, of course, where he often places in a 3-4-2-1 or 4-1-4-1. Anchoring the midfield with quick, accurate passing, his 88% pass accuracy in tight spaces will mesh well with Arteta's possession-based philosophy. However, there are challenges. Wharton's not as defensively robust as Partey. Partey's average 2.5 tackles and 1.5 interceptions per game, while Wharton's closer to 1.8 tackles and 1 interception per goal scored. To thrive at Arsenal, he'll need to bulk up his defensive output, especially against pressing teams like Liverpool, Manchester City. Arteta might spare him with a destroyer like Declan Rice to compensate, allowing Wharton to focus on distribution. He'd also need to adapt to Arsenal's high-pressing games, while demand relentless energy, something Partey struggle with at his age. The good news, Wharton's youth and coachability make him moldable at 21. He's got years to grow into Arteta's system, unlike Partey, who's near the end of his prime, but signing him won't be easy. Now let's talk about the others Arsenal face in getting this deal done. Yes, securing Adam Wharton's signature is no walk in the park, and Arsenal's transfer team will have their work cut out. So what are the potential challenges, and how might the Gunners negotiate with Crystal Palace? Let's dive in. First, the price tag. Crystal Palace reportedly value Wharton at €70 million, with some sources like Arsenal insiders suggesting it could climb to €100 million. That's a massive jump from the €21 million Palace paid back born in 2024, but it reflects Wharton's rapid rise and long-term contract, which runs until 2029. Palace know they've got a gem and they're not desperate to sell, especially after losing key players like Mikel Arteta in recent years. Cut-off side reports that Palace expect to lose Wharton eventually, but they will dive a hard bargain to maximize his value. Challenge number 2, competition. Arsenal aren't the only ones sniffing around. Manchester City see Wharton as a potential Rodri replacement, while Liverpool, Manchester United, and even Bayern Munich have been linked. This bidding war could inflate the price or sway Wharton if another club offers Champions League football or a bigger ride. The Edge is a project under Arteta, a young ambitious squad with a clear identity, but they'll need to move fast. Negotiation-wise, Arsenal would leverage their recent transfer savvy. Sporting director Andre Barta has a knack for structuring deals, as seen with the signings of Declan Rice and Mikel Merino. One strategy could be offering a base fee of around €55 to €60 million. As cut-off side suggests Arsenal might propose with add-ons to sweeten the deal, including a player in the swap, say a fringe talent like Reece Nelson or a Leone like Fabio Vera. Could also tempt Palace, who need depth for their FA Cup and Premier League campaign. Another although is timing. Wharton had injury niggles this season, limiting his appearances since October 2024 by Charles Watt's column. Palace manager Oliver Glasner is managing his minutes carefully, especially with an FA Cup semi-final looming. A January move feels unlikely. Arsenal is more likely to wait until summer 2025, when Partey and Jorginho's contract expire, giving them clarity on their midfield needs. The risks, they will let rivals swoop in. So if Arsenal pulls this off, what impact would Wharton have? Let's explore that in our final segment. We've covered a lot, but now it's time for the big question. What would Adam Wharton bring to Arsenal's midfield, and is it the right fit or for Arteta's vision? Let's break down the benefits, drawbacks, and of course whether his move makes sense. First, the impact on Arsenal midfield dynamics. Arteta's system thrives on balance, a mix of creativity, grit, and versatility. Right now, Declan Rice is all action. Number 8, Martin Odegaard, the creative arm, and Partey or Jorginho, the anchor. Wharton's arrival could see him slot into the number 6 role, allowing Rice to push forward and Odegaard to focus on attacking. Wharton's passing rate, highlighted by Hargreaves, could add a new dimension, enabling Arsenal to break presses with vertical balls to wingers like Bukayo Saka or Gabriel Martinelli. His ability to play in a double pivot, as seen at Palace, also gives Arteta tactical flexibility. Think a 4-2-3-1 against tougher opponents. Benefit: Wharton yield is a massive plus. At 21, is a long-term investment who could anchor Arsenal's midfield for a decade. His Premier League experience means no adaptation period. Unlike foreign targets like Imminent, he's also got the English core appeal. Joining Rice, Saka, and Ethan Nwaneri in a home ground spine, something fans love. Data from every shows Wharton ranks in the top 20% of, meaning he could elevate Arsenal build-up play, especially in tight games where parties sometimes lack precision this season. But there are drawbacks. Wharton's lack of physicality could be exposed in Arteta's high intensity system. Partey's ability to dominate duels, 2.5 per game, is a big part of Arsenal's defensive solidity. Wharton's 1.8 tacticals and 0.5 areas, 1 per game, suggests he'll need time to adapt. There's also the risk of overpaying. At 70 to 100 euro millions, Wharton's a gamble for a player with less than 18 months of top flight experience. If he struggles to replace Rice and Merino, Arsenal could face fan backlash, especially with Somili, a proven La Liga star, potentially available for less. So is Wharton a good fit under Arteta? I say yes. But with conveyed Arteta coaching has transformed players like Rice and Havertz, and Wharton's intelligence and work rate make him a prime candidate for development. His passing and vision align perfectly with Arteta's possession-based, high-pressing style, and of course outlined in Football Coins analysis or Arsenal 2024-25 tactics. Bearing in with Rice could create a dynamic midfield duo, Nick Rodri and Golden at City, but Arsenal must address his defensive shortcomings, perhaps through targeted coaching or tactical tweaks. Unlimitedly, Wharton's a bold, forward-thinking choice, but the prime and competition made this a high-stakes move. What do you think, Gunners fans? Is Wharton the answer, or should Arsenal stick with Zumedi or someone else? Drop your thoughts in the comment below and let's keep the debate going. And there you have it, folks, the deep dive into Thomas Partey's potential exit and why Adam Wharton could be Arsenal's next midfield maestro. From Hargreaves, both releasing predictions, the challenges of signing a 70 million euro star. We've covered it all. If you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up, share with your fellow Gunners, and subscribe for more Arsenal content every week. Let me know in the comments, Wharton or Zumedi, or is there another midfielder you'd love to see at the Emirates? Hit that bell icon so you never miss an update, and I'll catch you in the next one. And of course, we remain Diary TV.